Salutations and good morning everyone, welcome back to another Smalland update video where today we are hopping in and we are going to be looking at all the updates that came out in January. More or less all the FAQ Fridays, any sort of new creature features, and also at the end of the video talking about a huge thing that happened as well for their community. But before we do that, thank you guys all so much for hitting the like button. Let's hop in and let's talk about Smalland a little bit, shall we? So first of all, Smalland just recently finished up another round of closed beta testing. This means that they have been going through and playing an alpha beta build that is testing out the game mechanics, getting it ready, doing bug fixing and stuff like that. If you guys are interested in joining these beta builds, what you have to do is you guys have to join their Discord and go over there and make them aware over there. You have to sign an NDA and everything like that. That's why I never show you guys anything that I play through on Smalland whenever I get to play it, because I have to sign an NDA stating I will not actually show you guys anything in the game as of yet. But thankfully, we are getting a beta very, very soon that will be open that I will be able to share for you guys. So if you guys are interested in Smalland, make sure you guys subscribe, because I've been covering this game for almost a year now. And as soon as it comes out, I cannot wait to play it for all of you. So let's read through FAQ Friday number 15. It says, Happy New Year. We are excited for 2022. And what we can share with you is there's so many exciting things to come. We're still here to answer some of those burning questions in the meanwhile. So without further ado, question: will there be bigger areas in the map that are free of trash and leftovers of humans? Many of the little clips that we have been seeing place take around polluted surroundings. And their answer is yes. Truth be told, these are easier to create initially. So when you've been seeing the behind the scenes in some of those shoots, some of the more developed areas, whereas the more organic ones that take much more time to create, so they look and feel more organic, but still having the regular gameplay spaces regarding size, height. Initially, in the very early days, we did lots of experiments in these areas, either looked right or felt right, but rarely both. So it meant that a lot of level design rules and revisions and some sort of answer yes, but there are a lot of overgrown areas. I could tell you from playing this, because they did answer it, that yes, there are overgrown areas in the game, like you can see in this little picture right here. That's just one of them. And you can see it's like a forested area, so it's no surprise for me to say that there's a forested area in the game that you play through, and it is very natural. But you do find those man-made objects that they had brought up and shown in other videos quite often. So not really spoiling anything there, so I'm pretty sure it's okay that I say that. Okay, so another question right down here. Can I only ride my animal friends, or will they protect me like in game Horizon Zero? And their answer is, depends on the creature. Some follow and some are mounts when tamed. Mounts have different strengths and weaknesses in different situations, and your allies will sometimes attack when you attack, like a royal steed, or initially retreat, but attack if you are attacked. Some will attack a creature on the same level of the food chain, while others will run away. Some may also cause trouble and get into fights that you may not want to have. So we are trying to give the creatures as much personality as possible, but also look and feel like real creatures, which are somewhat expressionless, so they may be portrayed via audio, via their behavior and surroundings. So you can see here you have yourself like a grasshopper, right? And you've seen that we're able to ride grasshoppers in various pictures. We're also able to ride bees in certain pictures, and also giant lizards and other things as well in the game. So I'm assuming what they mean by that is, like, if you had a lizard friend that was sitting there attacking with you, or you were attacking somebody, that the lizard would come up and also help you attack as well. Where I don't think a grasshopper would be as much inclined to attack as, say, a lizard would, because a grasshopper is probably just going to try to run away instead. So next question says, okay, so I didn't mean to be super technical, but watching your short diary video number 2 on armor, based on the insect faction you choose and work with, you stated that you'll be able to craft that insect's armor, assuming that you'll be rewarded with the parts and craft blueprints, or even the armor as itself is rewarded. However, my questions would also be crafted based on armors kind of made the insects themselves. If so, desecrating their dead to get the items to craft armor, I think it seems a little dark, but I'm just trying to see from the angle on what others might think as well. I think the armor sets are really good looking, and assuming again that the armor you are showing looks to be like some of the highest tiered armor in the game, you'll be able to craft towards the end of the game or much later. I'd love to hear feedback. Okay, so a couple things on their armor here, guys. It says, one, great question. Hopefully we can give some of the insight on what wasn't a quick decision. The quick answer is yes. Some of the armor is made from the same insect carapaces as the species you are aligned with, which in the human terms would be somewhat grim. This isn't the case with creatures, but as an example, ant armor certainly do have carapaces. You could, as mentioned, be perceived to be a little dark, but also in the line with your major tones in the game, the circle of life. Creatures who are friendly, you may eat one another as predator or prey, and certain creatures will not care about their allies being killed as long as the overall hive is first and foremost. So like, for instance, if a bee was to die or something like that, and you were to pick up the parts from it dying, or something else killed it and you picked up the parts, you'd be able to craft its gear from that. But although we aim to make everything as relatable and realistic as possible, we also want to make sure it's fun and makes sense for gameplay. So in the case of ants, I'm wearing the ant armor as a specific example. You will have to work with the ants, and you will need to earn their trust over time, and when worthy, they will trade and gift you some of the elements that you need, including the parts of their fallen, for you to create the armor set, which the small folks see as an honor. So in other words, you are building relationships with the different factions of bugs or creatures in the backyard, or not backyard, it's not grounded, in the forest of Smalland, that allows you to create their armor. So they're actually giving you these items instead of you having to go out and actually harvest these items yourself. Okay, so that's the end of FAQ number 15 for 2022. Let's go over to FAQ number 16. This one's going to go a little bit faster. It says, hey everyone, I thought I'd hijack this week's FAQ Friday and spend a bit more time. Questions of Smalland is coming out. So when is it coming out? It's a question of we would love to answer, but we're just not in a position to do so yet. Smalland has come such a long way over the last year, and whilst it's obviously frustrating for some, we don't want to rush out a demo and early access to hit a date. Rather, we are letting development inform the date, and when the time comes to give you some dates, we'll be very excited to share with you. So in other words, at the beginning of the year, they're not exactly 100% sure yet, but they are saying sometime this year. There's people who have been following Smalland for a few years now, but it's important to note that we acquired Smalland and completely rebooted the game. It's been in full development for just over a year. Had Smalland not been public prior to the state of the development, we would have had a much better timeline for announcement through release, but you can't put the genie back in the bottle. So we wanted to tell you a little bit about what we worked on the members of the team right now, and to help give a little bit of context on why we're not releasing just yet. So one thing that has happened this week is Starting Area had a new flora and fauna pass to bring an area closer to revision. So here you can see what flora and fauna would look like as they're running around there. So this isn't just visual, but also a high-level perspective too. Things like line of sight and where scenery leads the player are important to get exactly right. For some perspective, that's how we've come along the last year. Here's a couple of GIFs that share on Twitter in February of 2021. So in other words, this is things that that they shared back last year in February. So if we look now, this is what the area looked like. You'll see that the grass is there. You know, you could see some of the bugs. It's a little choppy when they're running around. And here's what it looks like now with the latest build. So you can see that they've opened things up a lot more. The grass isn't as chunky anymore. It's a lot more open. You can actually see things. You actually get the feeling that you're down on the ground without being crowded. And as for the design of the game, the world has developed. So too have the gameplay elements that are interactive with the world. One of these things that we've been working on this week is a grappling hook. So if you guys look right here, you'll see that you actually have a grappling hook that you're able to use. The grappling hook has a lot point of contention in the team. Some love it, but some hate it. Some can use it to save their life, others to the world, like Spider-Man looking like you produced bad. So in other words, yeah, look at that. You literally become Spider-Man. But a lot of people like this. Some people hate it. And, you know, to me, I think that traversal is a big thing in a game, especially when you're this size. You have to find different ways to be able to get around these different areas. So having something like this to me is a big deal. So I think it's really cool that they added something like this in the game. Since the early stages of development, the verticality of Smalland has become a part of the experience. And as such, we think there's a solid place for the grappling hook. And we've been working with some new implementations for this tool to see what form it will take in early access. access. Do you know what will help determine the future of the grappling hook? Player feedback? Stay tuned. So in other words, they're just going through thinking again, but this is what they were getting ready to announce, that they were going to do another closed beta access to get people in there and actually test it. I think it's actually considered a closed alpha test is what it is, not a closed beta test, because beta test would assume that we're getting very, very close. I would say that this game is probably still at least 3 months off, at least, from recording this now at the beginning of February. I would say at least 3 months off before we're going to be getting anything that's solid that says, yes, we're ready to actually release a open beta for people to play Smalland. So yeah, it's a big deal here. Okay, and then the last little bit of news right here is that Smalland has officially hit 200,000 wish lists on Steam. So little congratulations to the Smalland team. Very happy for them. 200,000 wish lists on Steam is a very, very big deal. And they're saying right here that they just surpassed 200 wish lists on Steam. They just wanted to take a brief moment to say a huge heartfelt thank you to from Team Smalland and everyone at Merge Games, that they hugely appreciate, who's been following development of Smalland from the beginning. Again, it's the chance to show the world what we wanted to create. We've picked up an amazing community here on Steam across our social medias, and nearly 6,000 members on their Discord, as well as TikTok followers. They are very excited and things to share with you, but today we celebrate you, the community who has been there with the ride for us. Okay, so in other words, guys, they're already at 200,000 people have looked and wishlist this game. This is big news. That means that when this game finally does come out, that there will be a wave of people that are looking to play this game. This is an online game as well. You'll be able to play it online with friends and also the community. Even if you don't have friends to play with, you'll be able to just join online sessions. So it's very, very cool that online is coming to this game, and that you're going to be able to play this very soon, and that there's 200,000 people who are interested in this, and the game hasn't even released yet. I do believe that this game is not, say, going to be a competitor with Grounded, because a lot of people are saying, well, who's going to play this game? It's, you know, you have Grounded to play. But after playing Smalland itself, I will tell you, they are two completely different games. They may have the same premise of being small, but they are two completely different games. They play different, they feel different, they look different. The only thing that they have in common is that you are small. Okay, that'd be like saying that Halo and Call of Duty are the same game. You know for a fact when you play Call of Duty, it does not feel like you're playing Halo. Even though they're both shooters, it's not the same thing. So be out there, be on the lookout for Smalland. It's going to be coming very soon for us to be able to play. Like I said, probably in the next couple months, we're going to be getting in there and be able to actually make some videos on this one for you guys. So I hope you guys are all excited. That's all that we have for January for 2022. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and also leave me a comment down below of other things you guys are excited about with Smalland. And as always, I'll see all of you guys in the next one.